today I'm joined by Paul Gleeson, the Managing Director of the firm. Paul, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Craig. Thanks for having me here.
Paul, just to start off, tell me a bit about what made you get into the law and your career prior to Russell Kennedy.
Okay, well, I'm not sure why I got into the law really. I knew I was a good arguer. I didn't know much else about myself at the time, so I sort of drifted into the law, and I became an IT lawyer eventually, because at university I'd done both computer science and law, which back in the mid-80s when I did that was a novel thing to do. I don't have any legal career prior to Russell Kennedy. I'm one of those unusual homegrown products. I did my articles back there in 1986. What's interesting about our firm is that about half of our principals or partners have also had a similar career path to me through the firm.
Paul, you took on the role of Managing Director in 2008. Tell us about what the first year was like in your transition from being a partner into, or principal into, the Managing Director role.
Firstly, at Russell Kennedy, we'd never had a managing partner or managing director prior to me. We had an executive of two partners and I'd been one of those. And so in that sense, it was a bit of a natural progression for me to make that move. But on the other hand, there'd been no one there before me, so no one really understood or expected, including me, what was really involved in that role. So I had to make the role my own. To having to really understand more broadly what was in the best interests of the whole of the firm, all of the partners in the firm, to understand all the various different groups, their different agendas, try and align all of those things behind a common purpose and a common set of objectives for the firm, and get everybody to talk the same language.
I noticed in the Australian survey of firms posted in the Australian recently, Russell Kennedy was ranked second out of the 53 law firms in terms of percentage of fee earners on part-time arrangements. When I speak to many firms about these arrangements, they're often difficult to maintain. What are the key strategies, Paul, your firm has implemented to make this a reality?
Yeah, there are three elements to it. One is technology. So establishing with your clients where you need to do it, the understanding that that person is on a flexible work arrangement, and understanding what that means for client service, and establishing a protocol and processes with the client whereby those service demands will be met. We often use that, and many firms use it as the excuse, in my opinion, for not facilitating flexible arrangements, particularly at senior level. The third element is teamwork. It's really important that anyone on a flexible arrangement has the proper support of the team around them who know and understand their arrangements, to make sure that the number one objective of the firm is met, and that's to service the client.
I often believe that culture is driven by the principals themselves. Is that something that principals are judged on in terms of their performance as well, not just the financial?
Yes, it is. Like many firms, we have the evaluation of our principals take place across a number of dimensions. Mm-hmm. Financial contribution is obviously the one that gets the most weight, but it's not the only one. We expect and we document how our principals live those values and the behaviours that they demonstrate, and what they're doing themselves and through their groups to achieve that cultural vision of our firm.
And flowing from that, you opened the Canberra office in 2013. Okay. What has this meant for the firm, and what can we expect to see from the Canberra office in the next few years?
It's been great for our firm because it's the manifestation in its first step of what we want to achieve through a national presence. So we have 3 lawyers in Canberra now. We expect to grow that to at least 10 lawyers within the next 2 years. Mm-hmm. We are growing it in a very measured way. We are not going for a big bang approach because we want our culture to be the culture of our Canberra office.
What, in your view, are the key attractions for partners joining the firm, whether it be in Canberra or Sydney?
It is a profitable firm, it is a disciplined firm, but it is a firm that still encourages and lives work-life balance in a very real way.